Former President Donald Trump touted his economic plan at a campaign rally in Michigan yesterday, saying the country would make, quote, so much money if he were reelected. In reality, the former president's economic plan would add trillions to the national debt. I mean, just absolutely would be devastating. He already set all records for blowing a hole in the deficit. Just extraordinary. During his 4 years, he added more to the national debt than any president. The aggregate combination of all 44 presidents that came before him, after promising to balance the budget and pay down the debt. And now it's going to get worse. For a closer look at the national debt and the economic plans from both Trump and Harris, let's bring in right now former Treasury official and Morning Joe economic analyst Steve Reiner. Hey, Steve. So, unfortunately, during this century, as we've discussed, neither party has cared about the national debt. When I left Congress in 2001, we had a $155 billion surplus, had about a $5 trillion national debt. Now it's $35 trillion. Any hope of that reversing from either of these two candidates' proposed programs?
Well, reversing would be too strong a word, but one is certainly preferable to the other. But to your point, Joe, let's first put this in a little bit of context and show the mess we're in and how a little bit of how we kind of got here. But if you go back to 2007, i.e. before the financial crisis, the Congressional Budget Office actually thought our debt to GDP ratio, which is how we measure the sustainability of our debt, the ratio of our debt to our GDP, would actually be going down. It was at about 40%, thought it would be going down around to 20%. That seems a little quaint now. Then you had the financial crisis. And since the financial crisis, every year, the Congressional Budget Office has projected that the debt would be higher than it thought the previous year. And so now we're all the way up here, where on present course and speed, the CBO says we could reach 120% debt to GDP, which would be obviously the highest in any recent history, but also the highest in all of our history, including World War II, when we had to take on a lot of debt for very, very important reasons. So this is what's happened. And how has it happened? A little bit of what you just said, Joe. But just as a reminder, when Bill Clinton left office, we had a surplus. It lasted for the first year of Bush 43. And then, as you mentioned earlier, taxes, the Iraq War, he sent the deficit up, came down a little bit, but then you had the financial crisis, and of course we had to do that. You got to give Obama credit. He worked the deficit all the way down to here. But then, as you also said, under Trump, even before COVID, the deficit was going up as a ratio to GDP, and now it's come down a bit under Biden. So that's where we are, and that's what we're looking at as we go into this campaign.
So talk about how much more Trump would borrow.
Okay, so let's look at the different plans that we have. Donald Trump's plan would basically extend all his tax cuts for everybody, including the wealthy, exempt Social Security from income tax. These all add to the deficit. No tax on tips, lower the corporate tax rate. He does want to repeal the green energy tax credits, but he would add $5.2 trillion more to the debt over the next 10 years. He has this idea for tariffs, which would offset it. Nobody thinks these tariffs would really happen. That would, even with that, it would add $2.6 trillion. Harris, on the other hand, has a plan that actually pays for itself. And it's also important to note that Trump's tax plan favors the wealthy. Harris's tax plan favors average Americans. She wants to extend tax cuts, but only for those making less than $400,000. And she wants to raise taxes on the wealthy, make them pay their fair share, as she has been saying, raise corporate taxes, make them pay their fair share. And so when you get to the bottom line down here, she would only add a trivial amount to the deficit. So she wouldn't solve the problem, but she would at least not make it worse.
And so that shows chart 3 about how Harris limits the new debt.
Yeah, so when you add all this up together, you can see over here that Trump would add this $5.2 trillion to the debt without his tariffs, less with his tariffs, but as I said, no one really believes that's going to happen. And she adds essentially nothing to the national debt. And you compare that to what's happened under Trump and under Biden. Under Trump, $8.4 trillion, as you said earlier. In fairness, $3.6 trillion of it was COVID-related debt, but still all $4.8 trillion of debt. And Biden, a good bit less, especially when you exclude COVID. So it's a much superior plan than anything we've seen for a good while.
So let me ask you this, Steve. So that looks remarkable. First of all, I'm curious about your sourcing, and secondly, if that's all she added to the national debt, would that not make her the most fiscally conservative, with a small c, president this century, compared to George W. Bush, compared to Barack Obama, compared to Donald Trump, compared to Joe Biden?
Yeah, Joe, that's a really good point. We have not had a president, as you saw over there, who didn't add a huge amount of debt to our pile over the last few years. But let me just also, Joe, because I know you care a lot about this issue, close with showing you that we still have a problem. If you look at the 50-year average of revenues, tax revenues, as a percentage of our GDP, you can see that our tax revenues are below our 50-year average now.
Right.
Our spending is above our 50-year average now.
Doesn't work.
Doesn't work. So you can see over here, just for example, under Clinton, it did work. You had revenues higher than spending, but now we're up here and we're down here.
Can I correct you, Steve? Under that young Republican Congress, you can say Clinton. I guess it's all a matter of perspective. But under that young Republican Congress that forced Bill Clinton to sign our bills, we balance the budget.
All right. Well, look, can we agree that there's shared credit between the president
we can, though. You were not sharing credit when you talked about
neither were you.
Clinton.
But in fairness, neither were you. So now we can agree to share the credit.
We'll share the credit. I want. This is fascinating, and again, it's really fascinating. Give me your sources here again. What are the sources for these numbers?
These are Congressional Budget Office numbers. I mean, these.
What about the Harris? What about the Harris plan?
These are numbers that her campaign produced, but have been vetted by independent, the Tax Foundation,
right.
Independent scorekeepers of this sort of thing. These are honest numbers.
Why? Again, it is remarkable that here you have Kamala Harris, who has been part of an administration that has just outperformed China. It just lapped China several times over the past 4 years. Has outperformed the rest of Europe, all of our allies, the strongest economy in the world, a $27 trillion GDP, the strongest stock market ever, a 50-year high for the U.S. dollar, more oil production than any country in history, and now fiscally more conservative than any president this century, based on her plan and what it's projected to do. And there's still yahoos going around making millions and millions of dollars claiming that she and Biden are socialists. It somehow doesn't wash, does it, Steve?
It does not wash, Joe. You're right. The record has really been exceptional. He has done a great job of growing this economy, as well as imposing a lot of new plans and policies like the IRA that have solved things like, helped solve things like our climate problem, the Infrastructure Act. It's actually the CHIPS Act.
Yeah.
It's a really strong record.
See, finally, you and I have been worried about deficits and the debt going back to the Obama administration. We've been talking about this. Could you explain to people, because it's just hard for people to grasp, what happens when we have the crisis, the debt crisis, when the debt bomb goes off, and how quickly do things collapse, not only in America, but around the globe?
Well, you know that famous Hemingway line about how he went bankrupt at first gradually and then suddenly. And that could be the scenario here. You could continue to add all this debt to the pile, and at some point the markets just back up and say, we don't want that debt anymore. And you have huge rise in interest rates. You have some other version of a financial crisis. We're forced to do stuff that we should be doing voluntarily, but doing it under pain and having to do a lot more of it than if we'd done it earlier. The other scenario is that we continue to drift along like this, and what happens is our interest costs are rising as a share of our federal spending, and it's pushing out all kinds of other useful federal spending, and eventually could impinge on things like Social Security and Medicare.
Well,
if we don't do something about it.
It would. It would. Social Security, Medicare, Medicaid, just about every other program would be slashed as our economy spiraled out of control. And that's the thing. We still have time to take care of it because we have a strong economy. But when it hits the fan, we won't. It's just a lot of progressive economists mocked not only me, but people like me for years when we talked about how big spending would lead to big interest rates, and big interest rates would lead to pain across all sectors of the American economy. And then it happened. And all they said were, yeah, we got it wrong. We're sorry. Well, a lot of people suffered because of it.
Joe, this is unsustainable. You can't run the country or a business where your revenues are year after year so far below your expenses. You just can't do it.
Yep. All right. Morning Joe economic analyst Steve Rattner. Thanks so much. And go Mets. Congratulations, Steve.
Thank you.